Justine, tell me about yourself. Where were you born and raised?
Well, I'm Justine. My name's Justine. I was born in Omak, Washington, and I was raised in Nispelum, Nispelum and Grand Coulee, in between. I went back and forth from my mom and my grandma, so, yeah.
Well, tell me about your home life. Was it just you, or do you have siblings?
Well, I have 5 other siblings, and I lived with my mom and dad my whole life. They were married my whole life, all the way up until my dad passed away 6 years ago. And I had all my siblings around me, but my older siblings, as soon as they graduated high school and everything, we moved out of the house. We all kind of split up.
Where were you in the lineup?
I'm the middle child.
Oh,
gotcha. I have 3 older siblings and 2 younger siblings.
What did you guys do for fun growing up?
To be honest, I don't even know how to answer that. Just the regular old playing outside.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about, you said you moved a little bit with your grandma?
Yeah.
Your grandma? So after your dad passed away, did things shift?
No, actually my dad, he passed away when I was 19. So,
okay.
I was old enough to...
I don't know how old you are now, but how many, 6 years ago you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm 25 now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's a hard age.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a big daddy's girl, and when he passed away, my whole world just flipped. I didn't know what to do.
What was he like? Tell me.
He was really funny, kind, caring. He cared about everybody around him, took care of everybody that he could. Helped anybody that needed it, and when he'd see homeless people on the side of the road with signs up, he would grab all the change in the middle of the console of the car, and he'd give it to them, or whatever they wanted or needed. He'd go to the store and buy them something if they needed it. But yeah, he was a really good guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, so where did you went to high school?
Yeah.
In Omak, or where?
I went to high school in Coulee Dam.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And where did life take you after high school?
I dropped out of high school in my 11th grade year, and after I dropped out, I moved to Spokane with my best friend. And
well, tell me about that story. Why'd you drop out, and was there a let's go to Spokane kind of thing, or?
I kind of, I just wasn't feeling school. I never liked going to school, and I kind of got bullied a lot. So, I'd rather, leave the whole situation rather than, just feel like hell.
Yeah.
So after I dropped out, I moved to Spokane, and my best friend, she was moving out there for a job that she got, and she didn't want to go by herself. So,
gotcha.
I moved with her, and, we kind of just helped each other. And, I lived out there for about 3 years, maybe.
Yeah.
It was on and off. I went back and forth, but yeah, while I was living out there, I had 3 jobs. In between, I kept losing my job because I'd show up late, or but after I moved back because my dad he wanted me to go back home, and I wrecked my car. That's another reason I moved back. I wrecked my car, and my mom had to take care of me.
So you had no transportation to get to work, and
yeah. Well, I wrecked my car pretty bad, and I flipped my car, and I had to get flown from the scene to the hospital.
Oh wow, yeah, serious accident.
Yeah, I got road rash all the way down my arm, broke almost all my ribs except for 2, and I broke my left shoulder blade, shattered my elbows. Yeah, it was rough. I couldn't breathe on my own.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and yeah, I had to relearn how to walk, all that. Like it was rough.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
very almost like life-threatening.
Yeah. My mom had to take care of me, and you know, my best friend, she worked so much she couldn't do it. So you know, my mom came and picked me up, and I went back home. And after I went back home, like 6 months later, my dad passed away,
Oh,
and
wow.
like that just, you know, ruined everything. Kind of, you know, ever since then, I kind of just been. I haven't really had a plan or anything, you know. I just been going with the flow. Kind of got lost into, you know, the drugs, all that, and you know, kind of just gave up. I mean,
After your dad died.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you said earlier your whole world turned upside down.
Yeah.
And that when there's such a big, you know, traumatic impact like that, it feels like it can, or
Yeah.
it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. You went back home, and your dad passed away, but you're here.
Yeah.
So there's a.
So how I got here is I went to treatment back in, I think it was October, and well, I went to jail in August and got picked up, and I was in jail for about 2 months, and the deal was like I go to treatment and, you know, move into an Oxford house, all that, and then, you know,
And this was where, here? Or?
here, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, I went to treatment in Elma, and I didn't want to go back home, so the recovery support lady that I had, she helped me find an Oxford house in Kenmore, and I was living in that Oxford house for about like a month or so.
And from
2
what I've heard,
months.
that's like an organization that's been around for a long time that has these, like, I don't know, do they do treatment there? Or is it just like a...
Well, it's like they do treatment there. Like, it's a Native American.
Okay,
I went
gotcha.
to the Northwest Indian Treatment Center.
Gotcha.
And it's like one of the best treatment centers. I went there twice already, but you know, this last time I thought I was gonna be for sure done, like, you know, but when I was living in the Oxford house, there was just so much drama going on there, and like I couldn't handle it, and I was with this guy, and you know, he broke up with me, and I kind of relapsed over that.
Yeah.
So, you know, after I got kicked out of the Oxford house, I was living on the street for about 3 weeks.
Now, is that the first time you'd ever, like, lived on the street and been unhoused?
Well, in a big city, yeah.
Okay.
But, you know, I was living in, like, you know, sleeping at the bus stops, or, you know, like, wherever I could at the time. And then one of my friends told me about the Chief Seattle Club, and they helped me get into a tiny home over here in Ballard, actually. But just recently, a couple weeks ago, the tiny homes kicked me out.
Was the one right here?
Yeah,
by the food bank?
one by the food bank, yeah. They kicked me out because I missed curfew too many times.
So they have rules,
Yeah.
like those types of rules,
Yeah.
right? Or you can't have, I don't know if they're all different, but this one's like a native
Yeah,
one.
this one's a native one.
Right, and so they have those rules.
Yeah, they're, you know, you can't have no visitors,
Right.
and, you know, like, there's a curfew, you have to be back before 12 o'clock, and
Really?
yeah, and, you know, I would take off for the day, and, you know, I wouldn't go back until, like, right before 12, or, you know, there was a couple times where I showed up at 3 o'clock in the morning, like.
And you get like warnings or something.
Yeah.
So many warnings.
Yeah. They gave me a warning the first time, and then the second time, that's the written up warning. And then after that, like, I did it again, and they were like, well, we're going to give you, or you have to exit for 24 hours. And if you come back tomorrow morning, we can work something out. Maybe you can stay. And I never showed back up.
Gotcha.
Because I knew I was going to do it again.
Yeah.
So I was, I never went back.
Yeah, that's some folks that I've talked to, like, they don't like, unfortunately, it's not for everybody, like tiny homes. They're like, I can have this, but it's like there's these gates and locks and curfews and I mean, it's give and take, right?
Yeah.
If I'm going to live in this thing, but it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah. I mean,
which is okay, which is totally fine.
Like, I thought it was really cool, because, I had a place to go and, but it was just like the people around me, the surroundings, like I just, it just wasn't for me. I couldn't, like, the people that were around, I just couldn't, click with them. Like, sometimes I can easily talk to people, and then there's, times where, like, I can just feel that vibe, like, I just need to stay away. Like, you can't be friends with everybody. It's like there's certain people you just don't get along with, which is very, it's human. It's very human. It's totally fine. So, like, and there was just a lot of older people there.
Oh, is there?
And, I didn't want to disrespect their space and everything with, what I do and like my lifestyle, and, it's all different. And I didn't want to disrespect them. And so, I kept my distance.
Yeah.
And when I first moved into that tiny home, I had a job. And, I was working at the Residence Inn Hotel in the University District. Really good job, paid really good, but I'm really bad with time, so I showed up late too many times. And they let me go for that, and which I was really upset, and that it pushed me further into wanting to live this lifestyle.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, my quick view on drugs, legal and illegal, it's like we all cope with things and all have our vices, and we all have trauma.
Yeah.
And it's like we cope because it,
you
get to not feel that pain for a little bit. And folks I've talked to that are unhoused, it's like, my opinion is just like, if that gives you some kind of like reprise from the trauma you're living in, like, I could care less.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's major consequences, and you could die from certain, drugs you're taking, and legal and illegal. Alcohol.
Like, it's not like I like living like this, but I don't like to feel shitty every day, like to feel, because when I sobered up, I went to treatment and everything, man, I was just miserable.
You had to feel, right?
Yeah, and I didn't like it. And, me personally, I don't think I changed a lot, from, before drugs, after drugs, all that. I don't think I changed very much, but,
What is your curiosity? What does it for you? Like, what drug?
Fentanyl. I'm really, I'm stuck on fentanyl.
That's the one.
And it just helps, I don't feel miserable as, I do when I'm sober.
Now, when I'm curious, when you went to treatment, like, there was counseling and like kind of therapy in there so that you learn the language.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I was trying to work with it, and, I was trying to, do all the skills that they were trying to teach.
And was it like a 12-step or just some kind of program?
They do DBT.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't know. Dialogue, I don't know, something. But they do DBT skills there, and some of them helped, but a lot of it just, I just couldn't catch on to it.
Yeah.
But, when I was in treatment, I was really serious about it, and because my baby sister, like, she gets on my ass about sobering up.
What does that bring up?
because she's had to come to the hospital a couple times because I overdosed. And it sucks because as much as I really want to, to be there for her and my family and everything, like, I don't know, I feel like they just don't understand,
Yeah.
And, I push myself away from them because I don't want them to see me like this.
Yeah. Yeah. The shame could be such a heavy weight.
Yeah.
Heavy weight.
I feel really shitty because, they have to deal with seeing me like this, but at the same time, like, they don't feel what I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, it's a part of you, or just, it's not all of you. It's like, we all have different parts, and again, I cope in my ways, and you cope in yours.
Yeah.
And this is just what it is right now, and you're still learning. We're all still growing.
Yeah.
And evolving.
As much as, like, I'm still willing to, straighten up, do the whole adult thing, get a job, and housing, all
you'll
that.
know when you're ready.
Yeah.
When you're ready.
But right now, it's just, I'm comfortable with where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Like, when I first lost my job, like, I was lost. I was just like, I gotta go back home. And then I thought about it, and I was like, I can't go back home. Like, it's just as bad as it is over here. And if I go back home, like, they already told me if I relapse again, they're done,
Yeah.
And I don't want to push it on them. I don't want to, I don't want to disrespect them. So, like, that's why I stayed out here. And, like, right now I'm living in a tent. I never thought I was ever going to be out here in a tent, but it is what it is.
And so that was 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
That you got let go out of the Seattle tiny homes over there. And so you've been in a tent for 2 weeks?
Yeah. And it's not so bad. Like, to be honest, like, I like the people that I've, surround myself with.
Yeah.
And, I met these people, like, when I first moved out here, and that was back in January. So, they all take care of me, they all help me in ways that, I never expected, but
yeah,
like, I'm comfortable with where I'm at.
Yeah.
And, I miss my family and everything, but I know it'd just be worse if I went back home.
Yeah. Well, just a heads up, there's a possibility they may see this.
Yeah, that's fine.
And several family members have reached out to me and been like, hey, that's so-and-so, that's my cousin, that's my dad, that's,
Yeah. It's fine. I mean, right now I don't think they know exactly, like, what I'm doing.
But they know where you're at. They know you're in Seattle.
They know I'm in Seattle, yeah. I'm pretty sure they all think I'm still doing good, though. I haven't talked to them very much. Like, I kind of shut everybody out.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they know.
Yeah.
Because, like, when I distance myself like that's how they know.
Justine, is there anything that you'd want to say to the people of Seattle?
No. I don't really know.
That's fine. Totally fine. You don't have to know. Well, I hope you find your way.
Yeah.
Whatever the path is. And yeah, when you're ready, oh man, to face the pain.
Yeah.
It is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, and I mean, as you know, I don't tell you.
Yeah.
It's hard. Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
It's good to hear your voice.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Grab that little mic. Are you open for a hug?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.